The federal government is collaborating with the Nasarawa state government to ensure security around areas known to have gold deposits along the border of Nasarawa and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Minister for Mines and Steel, Olamilekan Adegbite, disclosed this when he hosted the Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule in Abuja. The federal government has expended 15 billion on mineral exploration across the country under the ministry's National Integrated Mineral Exploration Project. This led to the discovery of gold deposits in Nasarawa State. Already, the federal government is marketing the data gathered from the exploration project internationally, with investors showing interest to come in and mine gold through proper licensing.
As you probably might be aware, we've been talking about this for a while. There is a 9-MEP program. It's called National Integrated Mineral Exploration Project, a project of the ministry, where government has put about 15 billion naira into exploration for minerals, one of which is gold. And we've done this exploration all over the country, and we've discovered very nice tracts of gold deposits, especially between Abuja here, the Federal Capital Territory, and Nasarawa, where we share a border. And you know, gold mining attracts a lot of undesirables. This data that we have gathered, we are already marketing internationally, and investors have shown interest. They want to come in, they want to come and mine gold and do it the proper way through licenses. But wherever these people smell gold, if I can use that word smell, gold doesn't smell really. But wherever they have an inkling there's gold, it always follows that we have all these illegalities developing around there. So we want to nip this in the bud. We don't want banditry to come to Nasarawa and Abuja on the trail of gold.
And I want to thank you, thank the federal government, for the exploration exercise of these holy minerals that you have carried out, and for the amount of data that you have already collected and being able to assess and know where, what and what is. So like you rightly mentioned, Honorable Minister, of course, in a place called Uke, at the moment, we have this activity of mining of gold going on, but illegal. And that is a very big concern for us. And I think the Honorable Minister, like you rightly mentioned, if you can set up a team that will go in there to review the situation, it will be wonderful. We have already asked some security agencies actually to go and do some investigative work to find out what is happening. And we are having some very good report about the area. But for us in Nasarawa, we strongly believe that the future of this country, is in minerals, not necessarily, in oil and gas anymore. Because as we are deviating from oil and gas, gradually we'll go into minerals. And God has blessed Nigeria with minerals. Nearly every state in this federation has one kind of mineral or the other. So for that reason, it is no longer going to be something that we have and you don't have. So that's why in Nasarawa State we are taking it seriously. We are working very hard to ensure the safety of our people, the safety of the mining sites, and to ensure that whatever activity is going on there is going on legally.
The Nasarawa state government is partnering with Peugeot Automobile Nigeria and Keystone Bank in order to revive the now arrested Nasarawa transport service. The state governor Abdullahi Sule announced this while hosting a delegation from the two organizations at the government house Lafia. The government is ready to purchase 30 vehicles, 2 for each of the 13 local government areas, while the remaining would be used for long-distance journeys. Meanwhile, a committee would be constituted to liaise with the partners for the project to commence immediately.
I stand here today with all humility as the chairman of PAN. PAN is an automobile assembly plant, very well known in Nigeria. And I am there as a citizen of Nasarawa State. The second team that we are with is Keystone Bank. The executive director, Keystone Northern Region, is seated here, also a citizen of Nasarawa State. That makes it imperative for the team to do all it can within its reach to ensure that it brings the needed values to the table for your government to achieve its set objectives for the good of the citizens of Nasarawa State. So that is why we are here. PAN provides the vehicles, Keystone provides the funding, and Nasarawa State provides the comfort.
Nasarawa State, without a transport company of its own, is actually handicapped. So it is indeed a thing of joy for us that the two sons and the two ambassadors of Nasarawa State are at the leading edge of ensuring that we revive our Nasarawa's transport service. And indeed, we are very, very interested, as I have informed you, and I believe you are all both interested in ensuring this happens. We are going to set up a team immediately to start working on this. And another son of Nasarawa, the Wazir al here, will join the two of you in making sure that we put the team together as quickly as today. You know, we've been talking with a couple of other people in the past, but all that can wait if we have this taken off. Because I strongly believe all of you are devoted and committed, you know, to making Nasarawa State efficient more than any other team that we can bring along. So that is part of the interest, you know, in me.
The federal government has approached the Nasarawa state government to provide 100,000 hectares of land for the cultivation of rice in the state. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule disclosed this while playing host to the managing director of the Lower Benue River Basin Development Authority, who led the delegation on a courtesy call at the government house. The rice cultivation project would be funded by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development when the land is provided by the state government. Now, Governor Sule is requesting for the Lower Benue River Basin Development Authority to set aside the required land in one of its project sites located at Side in Akwanga local government for the project.
They called me from Abuja, and we kept calling you. We couldn't reach you. I hope you are able to reach them this morning. They called me, you know, almost at the middle of the night, and they are looking for 100,000 hectares in Nasarawa State. Federal government will fund it 100% for rice production. So if there is more land in today, they will provide the funding for the clearing, the land preparation, land development, and the seed.
Housing is a fundamental aspect of human existence. Nasarawa State is a gateway state to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and harbors about 45% of its working population. This workforce and entrepreneurs, especially around Karo local government axis, require a decent housing. The Nasarawa State government recognizes the importance of this and it is making genuine efforts to provide these facilities. To achieve this, it is signing a memorandum of understanding with Affinity Homes to develop a peninsular housing estate in Karo. This project, when completed, would boost the internally generated revenue of the state.
Happy day for us today to witness this signing of the joint venture agreement for the development of the peninsula layout in Masaka Karo local government council. This is not only in line with the policy of this administration to bring about development in a local government that is our gateway indeed to the federal capital, but it is also in line with what we are trying to do in the state. I think DG Energies have given a brief history of what has happened. I want to take a minute to break it down in a common man's language so we can understand the process of what has actually happened in this process. When we came in, we realized a contract, and that is in May 2019, we realized a contract was given for the layout of this site that you are seeing right there called the peninsula. The entire land is far more than 100,000 hectares. And I want to emphasize that so that people will understand, you know, from this point. We also realized that there were a few cases here and there because different administrations had allocated parts of those land to different people. And it was the same time, so when we rushed in trying to complete the work, you know, to ensure that the layout that was already given So work was completed and the contractor paid. We wanted to put that in our pocket before entering into any kind of development that will happen. So when we completed the layout, which is what he called the structures, that's the road layout that you are looking at there, with a lot of culverts that you will see there and semi-bridges that you see on that side. Now, this meeting that they are talking about, even though in my style of administration and management, I did not want to get involved. That's why I believe they mentioned 3 of them, the Attorney General, the DG Najis, and at the time, the Special Advisor Investment were the ones who were working with trying to find a very good investor that will come to the site. Now, why did we go into looking for an investor to come and develop? Again, please, especially for the press, try to understand what I'm going to say. When we came in, one of the sites we also inherited was called the Orange Market. The Orange Market had already been completed by the previous administration, and the same site and services was done and the lands were allocated. We allocated the pieces of land to various owners, but as I'm talking to you up till this moment, a lot of them have not come forward to take over the land. No development is going on there because a lot of them actually are marketers. They took the land and they are looking for somebody else to sell the land. So at the end of the day, the development is not taking place there. And that is one of the reasons why, and that is one. The second part is what we are actually gaining there as revenue. As a matter of fact, we are not making any revenue there. Instead, we are the ones paying for the safekeeping of the place. So I said, as a businessman, I'm not going to come and go into the same arrangement. It is one of the reasons why, so that people will understand the reason for changing this to looking for a housing developer to come in with new concept, new ideas to do that. Now, if we had done that, to now allocate the site, Nasarawa State will be able to realize maybe somewhere around 2 billion naira, if we have done that. If the people come in to pay. With this new arrangement we have, it's called a joint venture where 30% of whatever is developed there will now be for Nasarawa State. 70% will be for the developer, but Nasarawa State is not going to invest any money there. What Nasarawa State has already invested is now called the equity, and that is going to be the 30% that Nasarawa State is holding. That is in form of land and the infrastructure that we build in.
Affinity, it's planning to invest 30 billion naira into Peninsula, and the vision the governor has for Affinity is also in line with Affinity as a company. And what is our vision as a company? It's to change the face of real estate in Nigeria. What we have on offer is also very unique for these kinds of projects, because other than just building and constructing, we have a lot of value-adding benefits that will be comprised from this project. So the Karu, as we know it, is going to see a lot of changes, starting with Affinity.
The people of Karo local government are delighted over the siting of the projects in their locality. They are optimistic it will create job opportunities for its people.
For us, this is really a milestone in the history of the local government. This is one of the first major real estate business that will take off in the local government. Now, as you're aware, that place has been there for over 25 years. Nothing has been done. And I believe this will open vistas of opportunities, and it will cause prosperity in the community. A lot of jobs will be created, a lot of infrastructures provided. It will change the face of the area completely. So it means that the government is providing alternative accommodation with that of the FCT. And of course, one major component of that project also has to do with road network. I believe that alternative routes will also be created for people to find it easier to live in Karo local government and work in the FCT.
The joint venture agreement would translate into the provision of housing for residents of the state, boost its internally generated revenue, and provide employment opportunities for its teeming population.